Last summer, the Pasta Grannies team spent the weekend in beautiful northwest Slovenia. It has lakes and mountains and wonderful culinary traditions.
Cheers.
And we began our journey with 89-year-old Anna, who was a cattle farmer, and she shared her recipe for noodlesy. This is tagliolini cooked in a beef broth. All her ingredients come from her farm. She has an electric fence to keep the deer out of her vegetable garden.
Vas lepo pozdravljam, a ne ste tako daleč prišli. Pa pišem se Roblek Ana. Zdaj bomo pa res probali nudelčke narediti. Ja, za juho.
Anna makes her pasta dough in the usual way, with 3 eggs and about 300 grams of plain flour. She uses a pasta attachment to make her rezanci, or tagliolini. She likes to keep her pasta laid out on a daybed, a habit a lot of Italian grandmothers will recognize.
No, te še če to počakate, so zdaj precej suhe, da bojo hitro. Jaz še mi zrižem, no, da ste saj vsak malo dobili.
Her stock is made with beef bones and loads of aromatics like parsley root, celeriac, lovage, leeks and thyme.
Še mrzlo.
Anna poaches her pasta in the broth.
Po občutku.
This dish is a Sunday night tradition.
Jesti, probajte, no. Ja, za mene je dobro, no.
We discovered a popular ingredient in the area is otzverki, which is similar to Italian ciccioli. Chopped up pork skin is fried in pork fat until crunchy. Most good butchers make their own as part of the process of smoking pork. A very much loved recipe in Slovenia is skanci. Anna's preferred recipe uses plain flour or moke and potatoes.
Sem Ana Žeravnik, stara 86 let, iz Stražišča pri Kranju. Kuhala bom krompirjeve bele žgance.
She peels 5 potatoes and puts them into simmering salted water. She then spoons plenty of flour into the water, which she doesn't stir in.
Še malo posolim.
She leaves it to form a solid lump.
Dam ocvirke.
Meanwhile, Anna warms up some otzverki.
To pa dam na tako kostrolo nizko, ker so žganci zabelen, pa drug dan so že mrzli, pa dam kar na kostrolo, pa dam na vroče, pa mešam in to so bolj tak žgančki mejčkeni. Ma, današki tis dober, pa se pa še malo primejo kostrole.
She drains and keeps the cooking water in case she needs it. Then she mashes the flour and potatoes together.
No, zdaj pride pa ta na vrsto. Ta je tudi za otroke, če je treba.
Can you go inside?
To je bilo včasih. Mene gledata.
it has to be sticky enough to cling to Anna's wood spatula. She scrapes it off to make a fluffy texture. Then she dresses it with the otsverki.
Žgančki so kuhani. Andrej, pridi.
And Andrea gets to try it.
Pa kar beži.
Sembrano...
Bojana is a retired electrician and is passionate about plants and traditional cooking. She lives in Sasip, close to the fairy tale lake of Bled.
Pozdravljeni, ime mi je Bojana, sem babica in prababica. In danes vam bom predstavila zmedene flancate, kako se delajo. To je čisto enostavna jed, ki jo delamo že vedno. In to je enostavna jed, dobra jed, poceni jed in hitro narejena. To je zelo važno, ker nikoli nimamo dovolj časa. 10 gramov moke, lepo jo bomo presejali. Ker če presejemo, je testo bolj zračno.
Her recipe is for smedeni flanzati. These are sweet fried pastries, popular at Carnevale. Italians will recognize them as crostoli or sfrappole. They have lots of names. And this is the Slovenian version. Bojana mixes flour with sour cream, a pinch of salt, and 5 egg yolks.
In ko bo to pregneteno, damo počivati za kakšno uro. Zdaj pa se ucvrli. Je enostavno, a ne?
This soft dough has to rest for an hour. Bojana rolls it out on a tea cloth and cuts it into squares.
To lahko delajo tudi otroci, naši vnuki, pravnuki, ker se lahko mečkani igrajo s tem, a ne, ker ni treba, da so vsi enaki.
She slashes 3 cuts across the middle of each. Then she threads 1 corner through the cuts to create pastry origami. She fries them in sunflower oil until puffed, golden and crisp.
Lepo damo skozi prvo odprtinco, takole, tako.
She dusts them with icing sugar.
Gotovo. Fertik so.
The result is a tea time treat. Sixty-year-old Brigitta shares her recipe for special dumplings particular to her area of Dovje, called dojški krapi.
Dobar dan, sem Brigitta iz Slovenije. Rada vam bi predstavila dovške krape. Najprej imam proseno kašo, kuhano proseno kašo, ki ji dodam praženo čebulco. Ne sme biti preveč in ne premalo pražena.
She starts with the filling. She adds fried onions to soaked millet along with a tangy curd cheese called skuta.
Ta skuta je domača.
And plenty of chives.
Več drobnjaka je boljše je. Babica me je učila zmeraj z roko.
We can eat it like this. It's very good.
Ja, lahko se tudi manjše naredi, če je to zraven pečenke, se manjše delajo. Če so to samostojna jed, delamo zmeraj malo večje.
She forms cricket-sized balls of the mixture in the way that her grandmother taught her.
Skutine tele s kašo proseno, bela moka je samo zdolžki. Drugi delajo ajdove, hruške imajo nadev, več imajo nadevov, no pa več ali manj se tudi delajo ajdove mešane. Ajda pa bela moka, mi pa samo bele. Malo sladkorja in zalijem z vodo, ne z mlekom, ampak z vodo. Da vzhaja.
She makes yeasted dough with flour, eggs and oil, which has to be left for an hour or so to rise.
Ko je testo razgneteno, ga pustimo počivati vsaj pol ure.
Brigitte rolls it gently into a log and cuts it into chunks.
Damo kuglico.
She stretches each one out and pulls it around a millet ball. There are two ways of sealing the dough. The first is the local way, which looks a little bit like a cockscomb.
Na dovjem so delali petelinčke. Tako. To je moja babica učila. Tole ketenco me je naučila moja teta iz Avstrije. Smo stisniti, da se ne odprejo, da se ne ranijo, potem jih pa zavijamo.
The second is the Austrian method, which is more of a corkscrew curl.
Pa ga zaviješ nazaj noter. Priporočam, da se da na manjšo, ker enkrat zavre, mora pa biti zavreta voda. Vret in jo pokriješ in je enakomerno se v sopari lahko tudi kuha.
Brigitte simmers them for 5 minutes on each side. She cuts them open and they take up a whole plate. They are traditionally given to hungry farm workers. They can either be served with a sweetened bechamel sauce or with warmed otzverki.
Tole je pripravljeno, pa dober tek. Vam želim, pa da bo v redu.
Here goes. This is absolutely delicious. Really good. Delicious. Thank you very much.
Hello.
Fanny was one of the first women to open an agriturismo in Slovenia above the city of Kranj.
To se pravi, smo na kmetiji Končovc na Javorniku. Jaz sem starejša gospodinja, Fanny. Danes bomo delali štrukle, slane, skutine iz vlečenega testa brez jajc. Damo pol žličke soli.
She is sharing her recipe for another Slovenian favorite, strukle.
3 žlice olja, pa približno 1/4 litra tople vode.
She makes a dough using 500 grams of soft wheat flour, salt, 20 ml of vinegar and 250 ml of water.
Ko se testo začne svetiti.
This makes a very soft elastic dough, which she smooths with a little sunflower oil. This has to rest for at least an hour. She rolls another batch out on a floured tablecloth. She smooths a little more oil and lets it rest some more while she makes the filling.
Pa pustimo še malo počivati.
Using 2 kilos of scooter cheese, 50 grams each of cream and sour cream and 6 eggs.
kislo in sladko.
She seasons it with salt and mashes it up. The pasta has to be stretched over the tablecloth as thin as for filo pastry. She then trims the edges and smears the cheese mixture over the pasta.
Namažemo enakomerno.
To roll it up, Fanny first has to carefully fold over the edge. Then she uses the tablecloth to rapidly roll it up. She slices it into more manageable lengths and places them on oiled foil and makes packets.
Lahko se tudi na sofari, ampak bolj enostaven je kar v vodi.
These are simmered in salted water.
Postavimo na štedilnik, vodo posolimo, pokrijemo.
But if you have a steam oven like Fanny, use it.
Za štruklje za bel dodamo surovo maslo.
Fanny fries breadcrumbs in plenty of foaming butter.
Pa dodamo bele krušne, mešamo, da pene padejo dol. Če ne, grejo lahko čez, a vidite? Ja.
She likes to serve slices of strukle with her roast venison. It's a great combo.
Zabelimo z drobtinicami. V redu?
Absolutely delicious. Again.
So this
And the cake that Slovenians like to serve at Christmas and Easter is putica, a walnut roll.
Dober dan, jaz sem Marija, jaz sem Polona. Danes vam bomo pokazali, kako se naredi potica. Pa začnimo. Kvas razdrobimo,
Farmer Maria and daughter Polona share their recipe.
dodamo malce mleka, sol,
Polona makes a yeasted dough.
še moko, to je ostra moka, da se testo ne prime tako zelo.
She gives it a gentle knead.
Tako. In pustimo počivati.
While it rises, Maria makes a caramel with 350 grams of sugar and half a litre of her cow's milk. The darker the colour, the easier it is to digest, Maria says. They pour this into 500 grams of finely chopped walnuts and stir it all together before leaving the mixture to cool.
To je to.
Polona greases a couple of tins and Maria soaks 100 grams of raisins in 50 ml of rum.
For Christmas and Easter, this is tradition. Yes, you can eat every day, but for these 2 days, yes, you must have a day. Must.
Here is a dough they made earlier.
Tole je frišno, tole je po 1 uri.
Polona rolls it out with her grandmother's 100-year-old pin.
This is nadev.
When the walnut mixture is cold, she smears it over the dough. She she sprinkles over the rum raisins
Damo suhe orehe, še sladkorja, pa še vse je na koncu.
and more chopped walnuts and sugar.
Cimet, tukaj. From the left to the right is the best.
Bologna carefully rolls it up and cuts the log to fit the cake tins.
Zgleda takole. Še en servet. For 1 hour.
She bakes them at 180 degrees Celsius for an hour.
Cool down for 3 or 4 hours, then we make the cut.
They have to cool completely, so here is another one they made earlier.
Sladkorja. Spekli smo potico.
Pri potici je zmeraj tako, da nikoli ne veš, kaj bo ratal, ampak dobra pa je. Izvolite probati.
Vidiš to? Odlično je, pa je.
And we finish the day enjoying Maria and Polona's hospitality and a fabulous cake on their beautiful farm. Put Slovenia on your holiday list if you can. It's wonderful. Click on the subscribe button for regular helpings of Pasta Grannies.